I want to be direct in this video. Whoever wants to build a startup in a traditional way, something that works out 20 years ago, has already lost the game. And in this video, I tell you why it is so. And I want to be honest with you, I don't have a company who makes 100 million in revenue. I don't make millions in revenue in general, but I can tell you from experience, I have 2 years, and now it's my second year of owning a marketing agency called SIG Media, and I can tell you from truth, I can tell you from experience also, that building a startup without social media, without marketing, is a absolute, there's no chance of growing. And I can tell you why, because nowadays intention is one of the most important aspects for a company, and you can get the intention by social media. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 reasons why social media is so important for your business. And we're going to start with the first point. It's zero costs but unlimited scale options. Because I tell you why. I tell you in detail that back then, in 20 to 50 years ago, we kind of like, most of the money that we spent thousands of dollars into advertising that didn't work that good, right? We spent thousands of dollars to billboards, to television advertising. So those are very expensive, but the return on investment is so low that probably you don't make any money of it, right? And nowadays you don't have any cost to make social media, to do social media. In the worst case, you just pick your phone and do some videos on your phone. It's not really something I would recommend, but it's something you can start with, right? We all start small, so in order to stay small, in order to make something in general, to represent and to try to catch people, I would at least try to take my phone and make some videos of my own in order to try to get in that field, right? And the second point why I tell you why social media is so important for your business is, no matter what you do, what you sell as a service or as a software, whatever you do in life as a business owner, whenever you do social media, kind of like the power of customer and seller change, right? I mean, like back then you had to do the calls, you had to talk face to face, and you have always to run after the other customer, and it's kind of like exhausting, right? But nowadays with social media, if you do content, if you post a lot of your qualified knowledge, a lot of your work, people start to realizing and see how you work, and with that people start to contact you. So the power of attraction changes, right? You don't run after customers. In matter of fact, the customers run to you and try to get contact to you, right? And that's something that social media helps a lot in order to be better or to grow with your business. And to be honest, even for me, I did everything. I did cold emailing, cold calling. I still do, fair enough, I still do it. And I spent hundreds of dollars into advertisement, into campaigns, right? I spent my time into making content. And to be honest, from all those 4 ways of getting contact or getting customers, the best way was always making self-content, to post from like making content of my knowledge or of my work or whatever it is. Whenever I share in LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, it shows quality, and the people gain more trust with that in comparison to do cold emailing, cold calling, or even spending thousands of dollars into advertisement or ad campaign. It's not only the change of the power of the relationship between customer and seller, it's also like it's also the most efficient way of getting customers. So I really recommend you to post content, and whenever you have a problem with that, you can DM me or write me an email. I just link my Instagram, and you can DM me or type my email somewhere here. If you have some questions about social media, advertisement, performance marketing, if you have some questions about marketing, because that's something I'm an expert since 2 years. So whenever you have a problem with that, don't be afraid to contact me. So let's move on to the third point about gaining trust, right? And let me be clear on that. It's something that I really do. It's like a fundamental fundamental point in the business. It's building portfolios, because I think 20 years ago or maybe 15 years ago, I don't know how people did it, but I assume that people like gain trust from new customers with, I think like the customer that they already have spoke good about them, right? So it's more like speak propaganda and stuff. But nowadays you don't need that anymore. You don't need customers who speaks good about you. Nowadays it's also important, right? It's something that I don't say you should ignore it or refuse it, but it's something. It's not the only option, right? Nowadays, with social media, you have the opportunity to build portfolios and like share it on social media, share it on websites, and that really helps you, because that shows quality. And in a portfolio, you see quality, you see the work, you see everything that a customer needs to gain trust. The fourth point is the outreach. I mean, like 20 or 30 years ago, it was always important to gain new customers where you are, right? The region that you live, that's the most important customers that you have. Nowadays with social media, if you're big enough, you can actually spread out your company, right? You can, like I'm living in Bern in Switzerland, and with social media, I can get customers from Switzerland, from Zurich. I can get people from Luzern. And I mean, like social media gives you the opportunity to think bigger and to act bigger, right? Because you can get customers round about like everywhere in your country. You don't have the issues to only worry about the customer that lives in your region. It's you can try to get customers a little bit above of that, right? You can be national, or more than that, you can be international, and that's something that social media really helps you with. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we conclude everything that we have said, like the fourth point, the first point was you have zero cost, but you can scale exponential, right? Because nowadays with social media, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars into billboards or like television advertisement. You can do it by your own, right? The second point was that the power of like the relationship power changes, right? There's no customers on top of you and the seller is like down, so there's no opinion of him. Nowadays with social media, if you do the content, if you post quality and stuff of your work and everything, people start to recognize you, and you gain more power. You can more decide where to go and which customer you can get when your quality is good and there are a lot of customers, right? So the power changes, right? And the third point is to build a portfolio, and with portfolio you can gain more trust with customers that maybe you don't know them, but they know you then. And the fourth point is the outreach, right? So since we have social media, we can think bigger and act bigger. We don't have the issues about the worries to only care about the customers that lives in your region, right? We can also go with people who lives in another region, in another country. You can be international with social media. So with that being said, care about your social media presence. Don't be afraid of posting content. And if you need help with that, you can always DM me on Instagram, or you can send me an email, and we can always talk about your situation. And there's no cost, right? You can always ask people that are successful in something, and it's nothing. It never costs, right? To ask a question, it never costs you something. So if you need help with that, you can DM me on Instagram or send me an email. And with that being said, if you liked it so far, push the like button, subscribe my channel, and you can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I would be really happy about that, because I always share my private life on social media, and you can always see my failures in general, because I think many people think posting content always have to be perfect, but that's not really right. My content is not very perfect every time. I make mistakes, and that's something, it's human, right? So that's something I always share on Instagram and on TikTok. And if you like it so far, then why not following? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, see you next week.